Hello and welcome everyone to my channel. I am Odds and Ends Art, but you can call me James. In this video I'm going to be taking this sketch here and redrawing it 1 month later to see how much, or if at all, I've improved having drawn every single day. So I'm not sure how much I want to change the drawing. I know that I want to go in for a different colour scheme, and something I've been practicing a lot over the last month is adding in expression and movement to my art. The first drawing, you can see she looks a little bit stiff. Happy, but a little bit stiff. She's not got a lot of fluidity to her. Whilst I want to add more movement, I do want a level of semblance between the drawings, so I'm just mapping out a basic outline of where to place what parts, from hands, hands, shoulders, clothing, so that if you were to see them next to each other, you would know one was inspired by the other. With the first sketch, I don't worry about details. I don't really worry about proportions, as you can probably tell from that hand. Now, from here, we jump to stage 2. I didn't really want to put in any more of the red sketching. It just wasn't very interesting. If you want to see how I kind of come up with ideas and a full kind of in-depth look at just randomly sketching and scribbling whatever comes to mind, let me know, because that is something that's really fun to do. And if that's something you want to see, I will happily do that for you. The blue stage is just adding in those little details, flowers in the hair, lily pads around the body, just so I have more of an idea of what I want to create when I go in and do the line art, which I'm doing now. For the line art, I use the Procreate 6B pencil. I find that a little bit of texture in the line art works really well with the style of art I draw, which tends to be quite floral. Now, this bit is a little bit longer, me tracing over the line art, so feel free to skip. If you do want to skip ahead to the next bit, skip to about 4 minutes, and that's where I really start to go in doing a little more detail. I am back. Or if you skipped like I suspect you did, I never went away. Your loss. Even I can use a break from my own voice every now and then. I know it's grating. I'm British, but I did not get that sexy British voice. I got whatever this is. I'm sorry. It's the way I was born. We're gonna have to deal with it. Now, here you can see, I'm just going in, and I don't know if you saw that, but with the sleeve I added a few extra little details. And here I decide to remove her rings. I don't think it's going to work with the overall effect I'm going for, which is quite young. It's quite fun watching this through, actually. I haven't really watched this through yet. I mean, I have briefly, but not really. It's quite fun. whilst I'm lining, I figure let's talk about something. Just a few random facts about me. My name is James. I've been drawing digitally for about 6 months now. I recently got myself an iPad and an Apple Pencil, so stepped up from using free apps on a Samsung, which is nice. I've always loved sort of Disney style cartoons, and I think that's where I want to end up with my art, sort of cute Disney-esque cartoons but with my own twist, which is sort of slightly more realistic proportions, and I always try and include some sort of plant in my art. I just think it looks gorgeous. I've always liked vegetation in artwork. I think it adds atmosphere to a painting almost immediately. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just put in a little time lapse of me colouring, filling in the basic colours, picking the colour palette. Again, if you want a video on how I create colour palettes or anything like that, please let me know. I'd be happy to film one for you. I'm learning a lot about picking cohesive colour palettes. I'm still getting there slowly, but I really think that I'm beginning to understand a lot more about colour theory, and I'd be happy to share what I've learned so far. Remember, I am a beginner when it comes to both drawing, making videos, voiceover, everything. So bear with me on this. Also, I don't know if you've noticed how annoying one of her nails is. I fix it later. Just going to quickly jump in here in the middle and say what I do when it comes to shading and colouring. I go in with the hard-edged airbrush tool and I do some basic cell shading. Cell shading is a form of 2D flat colour block shading. Then again, to save on time, I'm going to just time lapse through the detailed shading and jump back in just before the finishing details. So I've recoloured the line art, I've added some warm glowy colours and a little bit of luminance. That sounds wrong, but I think it's right. Luminosity, let's go with luminosity to the drawing. And what I'm going to do now is go in and add some harsh highlights to the high points of the drawing, which help to both determine the source of light and add a three-dimensional feel to the sketch. That's done. The image is pretty much finished. I'm going to just show you now. Stage 1, red messy outline giving us a vague idea. Stage 2, a blue more detailed outline giving us a proper visual of what the final image is going to look like. Step 3, the complete line art, again done with the 6B pencil on Procreate. And now the final image. Background added, signature on there, final image. I am so thrilled with how this turned out. You may prefer the first one, you're in every right to, but I couldn't be happier. Now, if you want to see a time lapse of the full thing, of the full process, I'm going to pop that up on my Instagram, which is linked down below. And there we go. We go from January 1st, which, don't get me wrong, I still really like this drawing. There are a few things I'd like to change about it, to this, February 1st. Now, of course, there are things I'd like to change, and in 6 months, I'll likely be looking back at this thinking, ugh, what was I thinking drawing that? But I am so proud to see how far I've come, And if you like what you see, there's a lot more of it going to be posted up on my Instagram. And if you like this, I'm going to be trying to put out 1 video a week at the moment because I have a full-time job. Stressful, but I'm going to do it for you guys. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, leave a comment, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.